welcome back to another oil episode. Today's going to be a little bit different and special, I know, but as you can see on the canvas, I have a bunch of transparent colors on it. There's Indian yellow right here, mixed into alizarin crimson, with a lavender mix made from alizarin crimson and phthalo blue. And there's some dark color here. It's like sap green, brown, and some of that dark lavender. And then these three colors are repeated from here down because I'm going to have a little lake. This is cool because this painting is going to be cool because I'm going to show you how you can have light rays zinging through the mountains like it's a sunset or maybe a sunrise. I was going for a sunset today. So I'm going to run the colors across your screen that I'm using for this painting. Now so you can look at the canvas. And while you look at that, I'm going to start digging into my titanium white. These colors are all transparent. Well, except cad yellow. I mean, on the tube, for some reason it says it's transparent, but I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's opaque. I'm going to take some white and just make little extracts right here. I want the tops of these mountains to almost disappear, sort of. Like, I want you to be able to see them, but I want it to look quite bright. Going more to white. I don't have to wash the brush yet. I mean, you should usually wash the brush, but I haven't soaked up enough, like that much paint yet, that this will be okay. Alright, I'm going to switch over to a little blender brush and tap in some of this white. Because the light's coming from right here in the center, I'm going to tap in what's going to be light rays. Especially right here, because there's a little area between those peaks. And I think, maybe one right there. Now I'm going to pull that out with a 2-inch brush. Okay, 2-inch brush is getting dirty. Now this was just an idea I had and I wanted to test it. Some ideas work, some don't. These look more like comets coming out of the mountains than light rays. So I'm going to tell you how we can change that. Already made our first happy accident. I'm going to try to blend this away right into the yellow. Now this one will be a little harder to blend, but this one not so much. I'm pretty sure I can get it to go away pretty easily. Alrighty. Doing good. Pull this one away. Who knows, maybe I can turn these into some clouds. Clouds, there's a thought. I'm going to take, I think I'm going to wash the 1-inch brush. So y'all know this is the best part of painting, is washing the brush. Open my bucket here. Wash it, brush thoroughly with odorless paint thinner. Shake it off in a bin and beat the devil out of it. I use a brush beater at hand, being on the easel, because the easel's more fun to me, but I save more paint thinner by also doing it in the bucket. Let's see if and be careful going back into your liquid clear with paint thinner, because they'll have a violent reaction. Okay. There we go. Maybe this was a little bit of mist that I just diffused up. So that wasn't too bad. Got a little hair on my brush. Great. Blend up this little lavender area a bit. There. You shouldn't usually come into your dark color from up here, but it's Indian yellow, so much Indian yellow here that it'll be fine. Great. What was I going to do now? I think I was going to blend out that white spot. I beat it off just to remove the color and not have to wash it again. Last rays of sunlight. I think that's what I'm going to call this one. Sun's still right there. It's almost blinding. Might show up brighter on camera than where I'm seeing it, but I can still see the definite lines. I'm trying to get hair out of there. And that's what you do. You pull them off and then you just sort of get rid of them. Great. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have mentioned that to get these black mountains in the back, I put black gesso there, and then I let that dry completely. And then I put liquid clear over that, and then the transparent colors. I'm sorry. Great. Clouds. This thing's still dirty, so I'm gonna just tap in some dark color. Maybe there's too strong. Load a fan brush with it and just add a happy little cloud in. Maybe there's one up here. Dig it in. That looks good because this, notice the top's starting to get a little bright because the paint thinner's mixing with the liquid clear. Alright. This lavender mix is so dark it probably looks black on the screen. Alright, maybe a little stringy cloud there. And one here. It's another thing, because there's the crimson's in here, well, it won't turn, your sky won't turn green when you put the cloud in because of the crimson. You just use phthalo blue, then your sky would turn green. Great. Should probably wash the blender brush a little bit. This blender brush is a little hard to wash, and it's not as fun to wash either because you beat the devil out of it. Sorry. The paint thinner gets everywhere. I mean, even after I built the splatter box, that just means there's upgrades to be made later. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention is I have another little modded invention for this easel. You might not be able to see it, but there's a little bar just like this top one right here that I built, so that I could have the painting be able to move up and down without actually moving the easel up. So instead of having a little tiny canvas right here where I'd have to crouch on my knees and paint it, I could just have it up here. And that's good because that means doing the stuff up here, my shoulder's going to be less in the way of the camera, I hope. It's the first video tested doing that, so I won't really know until I'm editing. Just taking the blender brush and blending out the bottom of these clouds. Sort of going crazy with these clouds. Clouds are one of the freest things in nature. Blending your way. And this little guy too. Yeah, this painting came out a lot better in my mind now that I'm seeing it here. Kind of dark for sunset, but that's alright. Really used the heck out of that blender brush, didn't I? Okay, now it's time. I'm gonna put some grass down, so I'm gonna take that, go in my cad yellow. And that's what I had this dark color here for. I wanted a grassy area right here, up against the mountain. Don't worry about the sides here. I'm gonna put some giant tree there to cover it up. It's another thing I learned from Bob TV. You make a mistake, put a tree in front of it. Of course, we don't make mistakes, as he says. We just have happy accidents. Putting a lot of grass here. Should probably put it going up this way since the mountain's sloping this way. Same on that side. Great. Now it's time to put in our little lake. I think the yellow started about here. Did I do that right? Sorry. Alright. Put more. Yeah. Start here because that's where the light source is right in the middle. Great. You can wash the 2-inch brush and again and just, well, show you what I do next. Beat the devil out of it. Right. Let's see if I can. Got purple in that light spot again, like I did the other time I did this painting for you. Just pulling this down, and then going across. It'll give that watery feel. Take, yeah, I'm gonna wash the fan brush. Fan brush isn't as fun to watch because you can't really beat the devil out of it. It'll mess it up. So what I do is just shake it off and ever so slightly knead it on the brush meter rack. Don't beat it on your easel. I'm going to take some cad yellow and this, and maybe touch up a little bit of these hills. Just help form a little bit of the land, the lay of it. Don't sparkle it up too much though, mostly right here in the center. I'm doing this part after because I'm also going to put a bit of it right here. I'm going to pull this green, just a little bit of it. Oops. Alright. I'll fix that. Because that bottom will be reflections, I'm going to take some of this white, pull it out, grab just a bit of my paint thinner, and mix it right here. I don't have liquid white on my palette, so if you don't have liquid white, this is what you can do. And just thin it out with liquid clear or paint thinner, and then just cut it across like this. So you get a little bit on your edge. And you can cut in happy little water line. Yeah, I like the having multiple lines for a water line. It means it's really peaceful here. Grab just a little bit here, just to put a defining line where the reflections start. There's a little ripple here. What happens if you get a water line you don't like? Well, all you do is just sort of blend it away. You can go over it slightly anyway. And I better check on the big camera because it likes to cut off. Sorry about that. I don't know why my camera likes to cut off. It's a new Canon. I'd say that's good enough for water. I'm also gonna fix this water line right here. There we go. That actually looks better because it's making the green reflections look better and the water lines looking better. Alright. Now it's time to put all that land I was talking about, so I'm going to take some of this Van Dyke brown, sap green, phthalo blue. I'm going to take all the dark colors, this dark stuff, lavender, and tap it in. Grab some more Van Dyke brown, sap green. Might be able to tell it looks a little blue right there. It's alright. Means I put too much phthalo blue in this mix. Great. Very simple painting. That's what I was going for. Let's see. What I'm going to do. I'm going to wash the 1-inch brush. And I'm going to put in some big trees. Maybe we'll have evergreens on this side and regular deciduous trees on that side. So I'm going to tap into this dark color, or maybe easier to make like brown, or some green. Right. Maybe. So I told you to get that side covered. Right. Because we got the dark in here, the highlights will obviously look much better. You have to have, can't have light without dark, right? Well, that is a big tree. Well, maybe there's 2 of them right here. Okay. Take a fan brush. Go into some Antique brown, sap green, and blue. Blue and brown make green. So I'm hoping this will come out to a very nice dark green. Maybe some of this lavender mix too. All the dark colors. Touch. And then I'm going to use the corner of the fan brush. Just the corner. I'm going to make little zigzag motions as I come down all the way, so I go all the way down. Alright. This guy needs a friend. This is a beautiful view. He definitely needs to do that with somebody. Alright. Touch. And use the corner. It's that simple. I say simple because it took me a lot of time to really nail it down. Now I got that just a little bigger than I wanted it, so I'm gonna re-put in the stem right there and just, yeah, that looks better, I think. Good enough for me anyway. This is a big fat evergreen. And I'm going to take my other fan brush and go through some of this dark color and add to make just a light shade of green for highlights. I like to keep my evergreens kind of dark. Actually, you know what? I got some brown. I'm going to take a little palette knife and let's give them a little tree trunk. So I'm going to take some of my Antique brown out, a little white, and just have it sort of like a marble mix. Like that, and get a little small roll. Now I'm just going to lightly tap in a very small indication of a tree stem. This guy needs one too. Alright. And half of that will be covered, probably be covered up by the highlights anyway. Just gonna get a drop of paint thinner to make this flow easier. If you're having trouble making the evergreen stick to the canvas, try adding just a hair of paint thinner. And make some zigzag motions across your evergreens. The light's coming from the left on these trees, so I'm doing mostly the left. I'm going to do this side. And let it get darker as it gets toward the bottom. Alright. Now I'm going to take my round brush, tap in this same color, and put in some highlights on the tree. Now it's coming from the right, so I'm, highlighting the right side mostly. Let's add some Indian yellow to that. Probably should have added a trunk to this guy too, but you know what? I think I'm going to leave him like that. Because this looks like a mass amount of trees. Look, maybe there's some bushes here too. That's not very bright. So we can grab some more cad yellow and that. Lightly tap it in. Yeah, that looks better. If it's thinner, the real trick to these bushes is just to add a vast amount of paint. It just takes a lot of paint. And a touch of white here. Yeah. And even a touch of crimson there. Just to throw it around in there. Okay. It's very dark, so I'm not going to... And, well, because of the black, if you try to scrape in and get some twigs, it's not really going to show through. But if you wanted to, you could take... Let's see, I'll just do it in a script liner. Go through some paint thinner. I'm going to use this leftover tree bark mix. That's not dark enough for me. So I'm going to get more paint thinner and just wiggle it. Yeah, it's good enough. As you can see, it's literally running on the palette. So you just wiggle it and twirl it. Yeah, that's good. Just a few indications. Whoops. It's a little stiff. You gotta sort of plane the sticks out a little bit. Disappear. Another reason I wanted it dark is because I wanted to kind of really set it in there. And I'm doing this mostly in the dark areas, as you can see. Yeah, just indications. Yeah. Alrighty. Now I think it's time to put in, well, time to wash my brush. I mean, wow. It's about to tap in highlights with that brush. That's a big no-no. Because we tapped in the dark, the highlights are going to look way better. Beat the devil out of it. Alright, now I'm going to take some of this Indian yellow and sap green and tap in some grass. Needs more yellow. So you pause a sec. Alright, I got the yellow on here and I'm just tapping in some of these grass highlights. Now I'm just going to come up against these bushes to set them in. I want it mostly, the most bright right here. I want it to be just a hair brighter here. Just to let it sparkle a little bit. Yeah. That looks good, doesn't it? Try this one, send me a picture. I do have an Instagram. That's what I'm into it. And anyway, I'd love to see what you'd do if you try this one. Now I'm going to take script line. Can't leave well enough alone. I'm going to tap in just to sparkle a little bit right here. Yeah, that looks right. Now I'm going to grab my script liner, run it through paint thinner, and go into my red. A lot of the lavender mixed in with it, that's alright. Now I'm going to sign right here. Thank you very much for watching this much of the video. I know it's lengthy, but I'm getting better. I mean, everybody gets better with practice, and these videos have certainly been good practice for me. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you liked the video, please do hit the thumbs up. And if you want to see more painting videos like this, please also subscribe. So, again, thank you very much for watching. And I'd like to wish you happy painting, and see it. Happy painting, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.